Imagine a fully maxed out Windows workstation. It is the size of a small suitcase. It pulls 600 watts from the wall, heats up your entire room, and sounds like a jet engine the moment you hit export on a heavy timeline. And desktop computers that also cost $5,000. Apple has just drawn a very clear line between those two things. The M5 Pro and M5 Ultra are not simply spec bumps. They are Apple saying, we believe the way people build powerful computers is wrong, and the numbers are hard to argue with. The M5 Pro gives you 18 CPU cores, split between performance and efficiency in that specific ratio Apple has been refining for years. The M5 Ultra doubles that to 36. But here's what both chips share that no spec sheet fully captures: when you are doing something demanding, exporting a 4K timeline, compiling an entire codebase, running a local AI model, neither machine slows down everything else happening at the same time. That smoothness is what you actually feel, not the core count. The M5 Pro delivers it at a level that ends most performance arguments. The M5 Ultra delivers it at a level that ends conversations with workstation owners. On the GPU side, the M5 Pro has 20 GPU cores, the M5 Ultra has 80. Those numbers sound modest against NVIDIA cards with thousands of shader cores. But both chips share memory directly between CPU and GPU with no data moving across a bus. That tight integration is why both consistently outperform what their raw numbers suggest. The M5 Pro handles professional creative tasks without breaking a sweat. The M5 Ultra handles workstation-class rendering, multi-stream video, and complex 3D compositing workflows that used to require a dedicated GPU, costing $2,000 just for the card alone. For the first time, both chips come with serious real-time ray tracing support. This is the technology that makes reflections, shadows, and lighting in games look physically accurate, and it used to require a massive discrete GPU just to stay above 30 frames per second. The M5 Pro handles it without a fan screaming at you. The M5 Ultra handles it without any compromise at all. The M5 Pro is now the first chip where you can say this genuinely is a professional-level gaming machine, not just acceptable for casual game. The M5 Ultra goes further. It is competing in a tier where the GPU alone would normally cost thousands. The honest caveat applies equally to both. The hardware limitation is mostly gone. The software library is still catching up. Mac gaming is growing. The game catalog remains smaller than Windows. If you are a gamer first and a creator second, that reality still matters for the M5 Pro and the M5 Ultra both. But if you are a creator who also games, neither machine makes you compromise on either side anymore. Both the M5 Pro and the M5 Ultra ship with Thunderbolt 5. This is not a minor upgrade from Thunderbolt 4. It doubles the bandwidth, delivering up to 120 gigabits per second. If you have ever connected an external SSD and felt it should be faster, that feeling is gone on both machines. But the bigger story is displays. Thunderbolt 5 can drive 8K external monitors without any signal compression. For video editors and color graders working on reference monitors, this is a genuine workflow change, not a marginal one. And for external GPU enclosures, the bandwidth is finally sufficient to make that setup truly competitive. The M5 Pro gains this. The M5 Ultra gains this. Every port on both machines is now in a completely different league. Running a local large language model used to mean one of two things: either you bought a workstation with a high-end NVIDIA GPU and substantial RAM, or you accepted you would be limited to small, constrained models. The M5 Pro changes the first part of that equation. 64 gigabytes of unified memory lets you run models locally that would have felt impossible on consumer hardware even 2 years ago. The M5 Ultra changes the entire equation. 512 gigabytes of unified memory means models that normally require cloud infrastructure, the kind researchers and AI developers typically pay by the hour to access, can run on a machine sitting on your desk. For developers building AI tools, researchers working with models, or anyone who wants full control over their AI workflow without sending data to an external server, the M5 Pro is a genuine unlock. The M5 Ultra is a different category entirely. A high-end Alienware desktop can draw 300 to 500 watts under full load. The M5 Pro, even at peak, uses a fraction of that. The M5 Ultra uses more than the Pro because it is essentially two M5 Pro chips connected using Apple's interconnect technology, but both still consume dramatically less power than comparable PC workstations. That is not a minor difference. Power consumption means heat. Heat means fan noise. Loud fan noise means thermal throttling, where the machine slows itself down to prevent damage. The M5 Pro runs silently under most conditions. The M5 Ultra's thermal system was specifically refined for this generation because managing two chips in one package is a different challenge. Apple's track record on sustained performance is strong. M-series chips have consistently held their performance under load better than most competing systems. But independent benchmarks on the Ultra under extended sustained workloads are the thing worth watching once they arrive. Both chips carry the fastest neural engine Apple has ever shipped in this class, but the M5 Ultra's raw throughput is higher because it has more of everything. What the neural engine does in daily use transcription, real-time translation, image processing, creative AI tools in apps like Photoshop and Final Cut, and Apple Intelligence features built into macOS. For the M5 Pro, this means those workflows feel instant rather than slightly delayed. For the M5 Ultra, it means those workflows are essentially unlimited. The bottleneck is never the chip. Here is the part most people miss. The machine you buy today will gain new AI-powered capabilities over the next 3 to 4 years as Apple ships them through software updates. How well your machine handles those capabilities depends entirely on the chip you start with. The M5 Pro gives you strong headroom. The M5 Ultra gives you headroom that most applications will not fully exhaust for years. The M5 Pro is for the person who is serious about their work and wants the performance per watt per dollar in a compact form. It is the chip where hesitation about Mac performance for professional use largely ends. The M5 Ultra is for the person who has been waiting on Apple Silicon because they needed more memory for AI, more GPU for 3D, more processing for workstation-level tasks. The form factor is central to both pitches. A full Alienware Aurora Tower, the kind people spend $3,000 to $5,000 on, is roughly the size of a small suitcase and needs floor space. The M5 Pro machine fits on a desk without dominating it. The M5 Ultra machine fits in a backpack. Both are in the same tier of performance conversation. Neither is a compromise on size. For someone running multiple machines off a single power circuit, a studio, a production environment, a portable setup, the wattage difference adds up to real money every month. The limitations are real, and they apply to both chips, just with different weights depending on your workflow. First, the gaming library. Mac gaming is growing faster than it ever has, but the catalog is still smaller than Windows. The M5 Pro closes the hardware gap almost entirely. The M5 Ultra closes it completely. The software gap remains, and for both machines equally. Second, upgradability. Unified memory means it is soldered to the chip at the time of purchase. If you buy the M5 Pro with 36 gigabytes and later need 64, you are buying a new machine. If you buy the M5 Ultra with 192 gigabytes and later need 512, same story. Configure correctly from the start for both. Third, CUDA. NVIDIA's software ecosystem for machine learning training, frameworks, libraries, tooling is mature in a way Apple's Metal stack is still building toward. For inference workloads, the M5 Ultra is genuinely competitive. For training custom models at scale, NVIDIA still holds the advantage for now. These are not deal breakers. They are decisions you make before you buy, and they matter the same way whether you are choosing the Pro or the Ultra. Both chips benefit from Thunderbolt 5 here, but the M5 Ultra has more ports and more raw throughput for extreme display configurations. Running 2 or 3 4K displays alongside an 8K reference monitor, previously a friction point on older Thunderbolt specifications, is now clean on both machines. The M5 Pro handles professional multi-display setups without compromise. The M5 Ultra handles the most demanding color grading suites, financial trading floors, and broadcast environments where display throughput was always the bottleneck. If you have ever had to choose between display quality and display count because of port bandwidth, that trade-off is gone on both of these chips. The M5 Pro is pointing directly at mid to high-range Windows workstations and saying same performance tier, a fraction of the size, a fraction of the noise, and significantly less power draw. The M5 Ultra is pointing at workstations priced at $10,000 or more, the Threadripper builds, the dual GPU render nodes, the machine studios buy by the rack, and saying the same thing with higher stakes. Both machines are built around Apple's core argument that raw power does not require raw size and raw wattage. And the numbers are increasingly difficult to argue with. The remaining gaps, CUDA maturity, game library breadth, non-upgradable memory are real. But they are narrowing. And for creative professionals, AI researchers, and studios where space and electricity represent actual costs, the M5 Pro and M5 Ultra are not simply alternatives to Windows workstations anymore. They are the machines those workflows are moving toward. The M5 Pro is for the person who wants the conversation about Mac performance for professional work to finally be over. It ends that conversation. The M5 Ultra is for the person who needs that conversation to happen at workstation level, at AI infrastructure level, and needs it to happen in a machine that fits on a desk and does not require its own power circuit. What both chips share is Apple's larger argument that the way people have been building powerful computers is wrong, that efficiency and performance are not a trade-off, that silence and speed can coexist, that a compact machine can win conversations it was never expected to be part of. The hardware is exceptional on both. What Apple still needs to deliver is the software story: more games, more AI-native tools, more professional applications fully optimized for Apple Silicon rather than simply compatible with it. Because if the software catches up to the hardware, if that gap closes the way the performance gap already has, the argument for massive gaming rigs and power-hungry workstations becomes genuinely difficult to make. And that is what makes this generation worth your full attention. Not just the M5 Pro, not just the M5 Ultra, both of them, together, pointing at the same future.